Welcome back, everyone, to the smartest year ever, our quest to become the world's greatest conversationalist. My name is Gordy, and I was just wondering, do you think you could beat up this old guy? Well, guess again. Give me 5 minutes. I bet you can work this into a conversation today. Also, like and subscribe so you can keep up. I do this every single day. If you picture a samurai, disciplined, deadly, calm under pressure, you're probably visualizing an archetype in the image of Miyamoto Musashi. Beyond being Japan's most famous swordsman, he was also its philosopher warrior, a man who turned killing into an art form and art into a philosophy. Musashi was born around 1584 near the end of Japan's chaotic Sengoku period. Sengoku means warring states, and it was 100 years of near constant civil war. And it was an age when lineage mattered less than skill, when a man with a sword could carve his own destiny. Just to make it sound like a movie trailer, because when I was reading it just now, I was like, that sounds a little dramatic. But it's pretty crazy time. And according to his own writings, he fought his first duel at age 13 against a grown man, a trained samurai named Arima Kihei. Musashi showed up all filthy looking, wild haired, like this probably, and he was armed only with a wooden stick. But either way, he bludgeoned Kihei to death. He walked away, and he never lost another fight in the rest of his life. Over the next 30 years, he fought in more than 60 duels, sometimes using real swords, sometimes wooden ones, and he won all of them. He found his own two-sword style, Niten Ichi-ryū. Let me know how I pronounce that, but that literally means the school of two heavens as one. Wielding a katana and a shorter wakizashi together. And the idea was to dominate the field. Two blades, one rhythm, total control. Check out this pic of what the differences are between the swords I'm talking about. Because I know there are people that are really into swords right now. They're probably looking at this and going, this guy is a loser. So, you let me know if you're a sword collector, just how big of a loser I am. But Musashi wasn't just a duelist. He was a strategist, a painter, a calligrapher, and later on a philosopher. His most legendary fight came in 1612 against a samurai named Sasaki Kojiro, nicknamed the Demon of the Western Provinces. Kojiro is known for his speed and his long-bladed sword, the Monohoshizao, the drying pole. See, it's apparently a really long mythic sword. That's what I got for you there. Musashi rode to the island where they'd agreed to duel. He deliberately arrived late to unnerve Kojiro, apparently. But, he just doesn't seem like a guy that was going to admit that he, lost track of time. Oh, God, I'm late for my duel. Holy. I did this on purpose. Discipline. Sorry. He carved a wooden sword from one of the oars. And he jumped out of the boat. And he struck Kojiro in the head. And he killed him with a single blow. Yikes. And witnesses said he never even drew his real blade. And after that, Musashi began to just drift away from dueling. He fought in the 1614 to 1615 siege of Osaka Castle, one of Japan's last major samurai wars, but eventually he just abandoned warfare altogether. He spent his final years living in seclusion, first in Kyoto, and then in a cave called Reigando near Kumamoto. And he was just meditating and writing his philosophy of combat and life. He was a very multi-talented, intelligent individual, beyond being an athlete or a warrior. And I could really see myself meditating there. Couldn't you? It's a great, doesn't it look like a great meditation spot? In his final years near Kumamoto, Musashi also painted. And this is impressive to me too. I think this is really cool. Minimalist inkworks is what he did. And they mirrored his philosophy, calm, precise, and lethal in their simplicity. This one's called Shrike on a Dead Branch, and it's still displayed in Japan today. That is pretty cool. Not too shabby for a guy that could kill you with a paddle. See him rowing over to me. Let's get out of here. He's going to hit me in the head with that paddle. His reflections became the Book of Five Rings, Go-Rin no Sho, completed in 1645, just before his death. And it really wasn't a book about sword fighting. It was more about mastering perception, rhythm, and adaptability. The five rings, which are earth, water, fire, wind, and void. And they represented ways of understanding both the battlefield and the self. And today it's studied by martial artists, CEOs, athletes, basically anyone who wants to sound wise while destroying their enemies in a meeting. You know? Those people. He wrote, though, the ultimate aim of martial arts is not having to use them. It's pretty good. Now, Musashi, I love that quote. Will you please put down the oar? Thank you. And Musashi died later that same year, seated upright in meditation with his sword by his side. His undefeated record made him a legend, but his philosophy is what immortalized him. So there you have it. The greatest samurai in history wasn't defined by how many men he killed, but by how deeply he understood himself. But also kind of defined by how many men he killed. 400 years later, his duels are legendary, his philosophy is studied worldwide, and his art still hangs in museums. Miyamoto Musashi turned war into wisdom and walked away undefeated in both. Give me a comment, rate, like, subscribe, share this with someone who likes this sort of thing. Share this with someone who can teach me more about it, because I have a cursory understanding of it, and I know there are a lot of people who are know this kind of thing much more in depth, and I'd really appreciate hearing from those individuals. And if you don't know anything about it, make me feel smart and comment either way. Go check out the short version, little 45-second condensed version. You can find me everywhere at Smartest Year Ever for that. Please go there and say hi as well. I'd really appreciate that. I really appreciate all the people who are watching every day. Means a ton to me. It really does. Thank you so much. Got some really fun stuff coming this next week. We got Fright Facts week, a little spooky week for Halloween week. So get ready for that starting tomorrow. That'll be fun. In the meantime, stay curious and stay clever on our quest to become the world's greatest conversationalist. I will see you tomorrow for some Fright Week in the Smartest Year Ever.